Hey everyone, it's M.S.G. Hope you're doing well. And today we're going to be doing something a bit different to what we normally do. We're going to be doing a review, for lack of a better word, or first impressions of our new Defiler datasheet. So Defilers, Mutilators, and Kravek Morne, which is the new Iron Warriors Terminator Lord character, which looks phenomenal, man. I had Games Workshop have done a superb job with that. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So I'm going to try and make this video as quick as I can because I have plans, unfortunately. As soon as I got in from work, I saw that they released them on the Emperor's Children Facebook group. I saw that the Defiler rules were added. I avoided it specifically just to give a first impressions video, which is why I'm here now. So with the time spare, I'm just going to review it quickly and give my first impressions. So as you can see here on the artwork, the new Iron Warriors sculpts for the Legionaries look absolutely ridiculously good. The new Iron Warriors Defiler mask looks superb. The new Defiler sculpt looks amazing in general. I get why people dislike it, but I am a big fan of it personally. Mutilator's got the absolutely deserved glow up they needed because goddamn they looked fucking horrible in the first iteration of them. If for those who are unaware, Google Mutilator old models and you'll see exactly what I mean. This is perfect. Proportions are correct. Makes perfect sense that they're very similar to Obliterators, but just a melee variant of them. I really like it. I'm happy with that. First up, we've got Kravek Morne. As the big man leading the whole operation, Kravek Morne has a lot to prove, and true to his nature, he's an absolute battering ram. Armed with a monstrous thunderhammer called Last Argument, okay, and a power fist, he tears through pretty much everything smaller than a tank, which his handy servo harness is only too happy to cut up. So he's just a redditor, right? Because the Last Argument, yeah, that's like an r/atheism moment, which is definitely on brand for Iron Warriors. Um, just a disclaimer before I go into the actual thing, the impression. We don't know the points cost for these models yet, so they could be great based on the points cost. They could be bad. It just depends on their actual points cost. This is based on the datasheet alone. I'm not gonna, backtrack anything. This is based on the datasheet. So first up, we've got Kravek Morne, the big man himself. 5-inch move. So he's got a rough Terminator Lord stat line. So 5-inch move, T5, 2 up armor, 4 up invul, 6 wounds, 6 up leadership, and 1 OC, standard. He has a Bell Flamer, which is the one from the Lord Discordant, I believe. It's 12-inch range, D6 plus 3, auto hit, strength 6 minus 1, 2 damage. Pretty good. Combi Bolter, just Combi Bolter, everyone knows what it is. But it hits on 2s, cool. Melee, Last Argument, and a Power Fist, devastating wounds. Okay, I like that. Hitting on 2s, 7 attacks, strength 10 minus 2, 2 damage flat. Pretty good. That's alright. A servo harness is 3 attacks, hitting on 2s, extra attacks, anti-vehicle 2 up, strength 6 minus 2, 2 damage. That's not bad. I mean, you could probably get 2 wounds off a tank. Well, one of them's probably going to go through unless your opponent gets lucky. Right, his datasheet abilities. He gets Dark Packs, obviously, as a Chaos Marine. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack in this unit, what can he lead? Terminators, Mutilators, and Obliterators. Holy shit, it can be brought with Obliterators. Okay. And Mutilators. Like I said, I don't know if that's a good thing for Mutilators because I haven't seen them yet, but Obliterators at the minute, they're very good at the minute. That makes them even better. Depending on this guy's points cost, obviously. Let's see what he can do. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets the closest eligible enemy unit, improve the AP characteristic of the attack by 1. Okay, that's ridiculous. So your AP minus 4 on your heavy profiles for Obliterators, so you're pretty much incinerating any tank that's a 3 up armor immediately. A 2 up armor goes to a 6 up. That will stack with Renegade Raiders, so if the enemy that is closest to you is also on an objective, you're now AP minus 5, and you can go to AP minus 6 if that condition's met and the Terminator Sorcerer has, used Death Hex on it. Or you can use it in shooting against your Vendetta target with the Renegade Warband. Ooh, that's spicy. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of shooting. And obviously, if it's a Vendetta target, you'll get 4 rolls to hit as well. On top of that, assault with Renegade Raiders. The Huron with +1 to hit doesn't really matter because well, I mean, it's nice to have Obliterators with +1 to hit, but it's you really, really just want them for The increased AP is probably better in that circumstance, or full rerolls to hit. Next up, Architect of Ruin. At the start of the battle, okay, select one unit from your opponent's army to be this model's hated foe. It's very on brand for Iron Warriors. Each time this model makes an attack that targets its hated foe, so it's the model, so the unit doesn't get this, you can re-roll the wound roll. Each time this model's hated foe is destroyed, you can select a new one from your opponent's army to be its hated foe. So the rules as written there means only he gets full rerolls to wound against it from shooting and in melee, which is great, obviously, because he's got dev wounds. In addition to that, you can choose it, and it just says once it's destroyed. So you could theoretically have somebody kill your focus of, hate or whatever you want to call it. What is it called? Sorry, hated foe. You could kill your hated foe, and then shoot it to death with God knows what. And then obviously when you get into melee, you get full rerolls to wound, which is superb. That's actually a decent rule. It's a shame it doesn't affect the model, but I can imagine having him drop down with obliterators and just going, yeah, it's full rerolls to hit. We've just killed the vendetta target, and he's also my hated foe. So we're just going to get full rerolls to hit and wound against potentially 2 targets in one go, which is fucking wild. But thank God that's not a thing, because that would be ridiculous. Other than that, though, that's actually not too bad. I actually quite like that. I think he's decently strong. You might see him in a couple of lists, but I don't think. Again, it feels like I might be underselling him, but based on the impression I've got, he just feels a bit because he'd be AP -2 shooting, which is good. So let's sing his praises. AP -2 flamethrower, 2 damage, fantastic. Potentially AP -3 if they're the closest target and they're on an objective with Renegade Raiders, fantastic. AP -3 or AP 4 on his melee, again, Renegade Raiders if he's on an objective and he can do the damage to them, and they're the closest enemy target. It just says every time it makes an attack that targets the closest eligible unit, so it doesn't specify range, which is really good. So your AP 3 in melee, I get why he's 2 damage, because if it were 3, it'd probably be a bit too much, especially at 7 attacks, because you don't really want like him hitting harder than Lucius or another swordsman or a similar like style, because the entire point is you 3 damage attacks are supposed to be like super hard hitting. I mean, he does have a giant fucking hammer, which would make sense, but you'd probably have to cut his attacks to compensate. Overall though, I like it. His model looks amazing as well. The sculpt for the cataphracti shoulders is superb. Next up, Mutilators. Again, as you can see on the screen, they look absolutely fantastic now. They look really good. I love the way they've incorporated like the flesh and the metal. Again, they're literally just melee obliterators. It feels as though they're a lot more bloodthirsty than the other ones. Your obliterators, the Mutilators, look a lot more aggressive, which is very thematic. I think they've done a fantastic job with that. But let's get into the data sheet, because we're on a time limit. So you can get 3 of these in a unit, which is good. It used to be 2, if I'm not mistaken. 5-inch moves, so they're an inch quicker than obliterators are. T7, 2 up armor, 5 up invul, 5 wounds apiece, 6 up leadership, which is good for Dark Pact in. 2 OC. That's actually not bad. I thought there'd be 1 OC, but I'll take it. That's 6 OC on an objective. Crushing charge. You can reroll charge rolls made for the unit. Okay, very nice. You'll need that for mobility. Each time this unit makes a charge move, select one enemy unit and roll 1d6 for each model in this unit that is within the engagement range of that unit. For each 4 up, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. God damn, so that's 3 50% chances to get d3 mortal wounds. So you're roughly going to be dealing between 3 to potentially 5 or 6 mortal wounds on the charge alone. That's with a full unit. Let's see the melee. So melee weapons, flesh metal. So they've got different profiles. Okay, so they've literally just melee obliterators. 6 attacks each. Strength 6, -2, 1 damage hitting on 3s. That's very good for chaff. That just obliterates them. Obviously, you've got Dark Pacts on top of that, which is really nice, and there's a lot of ways to get reroll hits. So any kind of like 20-man unit is going to struggle, so guardsmen are going to be very, very scared at this. Flesh metal weapons, rending strikes, 4 attacks each, so that's 12 attacks overall, hitting on 3s, strength 9 -3, 3 damage. damn, that's ooh. Ooh, that's horrible. I'd hate to be on the end of that. That's disgusting. AP3 as well, and that only goes up with certain detachments. That's really good. Next is the last one, Thunderous Blows. 2 attacks each, so 6 overall. Hitting on 3s, strength 12 minus 4 AP, D6 plus 2 damage. Oh, holy shit. That is, and on top of that, you have the Mortals as well, which is just crazy. These guys are good. You're probably going to see a unit of these. I'm sorry, but like, depending on the points cost, I think they'll cost between 160 to 180. I'm going to lean towards 175 for 3. But again, the problem is they get the reroll charges, which is good. It's nice. They are 5-inch moves, so they're not. They are slow compared to everything else, but they're not like 4-inch move slow, which is noticeably bad. I really like that. I think they're fucking great. Like that's such a good glow up. I don't know if you can tell from the way I'm talking, but like I've got like a big Cheshire cat grin on my face because I'm definitely bringing a couple of them. I'm definitely bringing these. Holy shit! They get into combat with pretty much anything and they're just gonna kill it like immediately. I fucking love that. They would probably be quite easy to move block, obviously, because I assume obliterator bases are the same as these because they're the same sculpt. Um, they are slow compared to a majority of other stuff. Again, they're only T7, so these guys are basically going to get rapid ingress and just try and charge something in that turn. Um, 5 pinball's nice though. I mean, you've got that, and Fellhammer. They've also got -1 to wound from range, which is really really nice. Keeping them alive is going to be difficult, but they're going to be actually quite difficult to chew through. Um, it would not surprise me if you saw 1 or 2 of these in, depending on the points cost. I'm definitely going to get some of these and bring them in my Chaos Marine army. It's a shame you can't have them in Emperor's Children because that would have been fucking crazy. I think they'd be way too strong in Emperor's Children though, because advance and charge, fall back and charge, re-rolling hits, sustained and lethals on 6s, sustained on the charge. Like, there's so many different things they can do. Yeah, I think they're really good. I quite like them. Next up is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most, the Defiler. The Defiler is the one that has been I've had my eye on it for a while because the Games Workshop has specifically mentioned that you can bring it with Emperor's Children, as well as the other cult gods. So World Eaters, Thousand Sons, Death Guard, the big 4 technically, including Emperor's Children, but they are able to be brought with that. Apparently, they've had an increase to their movement, toughness, and wounds. Okay, and an increase to the armory that they were equipped with, so they get new guns or better guns. They also have a ridiculously big base size, which is again one of those things. Right, let's get to it. So brackets at 6 wounds again. Okay, so standard. 12-inch move, toughness 11. It used to be T10 if I'm not mistaken, so I'll take an extra point of toughness. 3 up armor, 5 pinball, 18 wounds, OC 5, 6 up leadership. We'll go through the datasheet ability first. So Scuttling Walker. Each time this unit makes a normal, advance, or fall back move, it can move through models, excluding Titanic and terrain features. When doing so, it can move within engagement range of enemy models, but cannot end that move within engagement range of them, and any desperate escape tests are automatically passed. That doesn't specify a height limit, because if I'm not mistaken, the rule was you can't do it to... I think you have to ignore it if it's 4 inches or below in terms of height of the terrain. You can just walk over it or walk through it like it's not even there. The rules as written, it can literally just move through terrain. So it can you get like Sinuous Breach, for example, on Court of the Phoenician, where you can just smash through walls. Soulforge Warpack, being able to just immediately charge through and just annihilate anything you're in combat with melee. Because if I recall, the Shearing Claws are like really high really high strength. Yeah, strength 16. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I really like that. especially on Emperor's Children, because you've got like what advanced fallback, shoot, charge, and obviously if you're using Court of the Phoenician, you get flawless. Where is it? Sensational performance. So you get strength 17 minus 4 AP, which is crazy. You probably don't need that, but it's there if you do. Demon Forge, okay. Each time this unit makes a Dark Pact, so this is just for Chaos Marine players. At the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. Okay, that's nice. I like that. In addition, once per battle, when that's just if you Dark Pact in general, which you're probably going to be doing, that's nice. That's you're not going to really say no because it's free damage. I mean, why would you complain? In addition, once per battle, when this unit makes a Dark Pact, before making the resulting leadership test, you can declare it will overcharge its Demon Forge. If it does, if the resulting leadership test is failed, this model suffers 3 mortal wounds instead of D3. So essentially, if you get unlucky, you're going to take a chunk of wounds. Till the end of end of the phase. So this can be shooting and in melee, or in melee rather, because it's once per battle. Each time this model makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. That is, if you're rolling hot, that is going to be superb. Because looking at the melee, strength 16 minus 3d6 plus 1 damage is superb, and you're probably going to get re-roll hits. You know, if you're using Renegade Raiders, not Renegade Raiders, sorry, Renegade Warband, +1 to hit from Huron as well. If you're in Huron's Marauders. Oh no, that only works on infantry. Wow, -1 to wound from range as well, so you're tough. You're as tanky as a Vindicator, pretty much. With the 3 up, 5 up. Obviously, the Vindicators go 2 up, but T11 is a very nice break point. Speaking as someone who goes against a lot of guard, T11 is a pain in the arse. Mate, right, okay, let's get to the shooting. Hades Battle Cannon, so this comes with it automatically. 48-inch range, D6 plus 3, yeah, so it's the standard. It's hitting on 3, strength 10 minus 1, 3 damage. It's 3 damage, which is nice, so you know, fire pot shots. Elite infantry might kill 1 or 2. Strength 10 is also great because it wounds a lot of things in the game on 3s and 2s. Obviously, if you're shooting what you should be shooting. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you're not going to say no. It's D6 plus 3. Ectoplasma Destructor. Blast. 36-inch range. D6 shots, hitting on 3s. Strength 12 minus 3, 3 damage. So it's just a super battle plasma gun. Wow. Can this be equipped with... Okay. So the battle cannon can be replaced with the Ectoplasma Destructor. I'm just going to probably replace it with that then. There's literally no reason not to. Yeah, the range is better on the battle cannon, but like strength 12 is great into like really tough vehicles. -3 AP and 3 damage flat. You're literally just objectively better. Like yeah, you might get 1 or 2 shots occasionally, but that's still really good. Excruciator cannons. So yeah, it's just a venom crawler. So it's 36-inch range, strength 6, -1, 2 damage, 6 shots, hitting on 3s. So that's 2, so you get 12. Yeah, it's literally just a venom crawler. I mean, yeah, you can do. You can also replace those with magma cutters, which are, I believe, 2 attacks each. So that's 4, 12-inch range, strength 9 -4, d6 damage, and that's from playing Forge Fiends a lot. Mortal Fiends a lot in Emperor's Children. Melter 2, obviously. I would probably replace them. It depends, because if you're going for like a close quarters one, then obviously magma cutters are going to be better. They're probably going to be better in Emperor's Children because obviously you're going to get closer. But if you're doing something like Death Guard where you want that like artillery piece, like a Plague Burst Crawler or something, or the simple that fits the role, you're probably going to want the I don't know whatever buff it comes with because I assume they get an extra buff based on the detachment, the cult legion that they're with. Based on earlier when I said I looked at the Facebook group for the Emperor's Children, they mentioned it specifically, but again, I didn't look at it. I did, a bit of preliminary reading. Heavy Bale Flamer, D6 plus 3, 12-inch range, strength 7 -2, 2 damage. That's really nasty. That is scary because any 2 wound infantry like Space Marines who want to charge it like jetpack troops, you're gonna get charcoaled. Um, yeah, I mean, if you've got the opportunity, you can probably keep it. Heavy bell flamer can be replaced with one of the following: Hades las cannon, which I'm assuming is it's literally a soul shatter las cannon copy. Um, 2 shots, 48-inch range, hitting on 3, strength 12 minus 3d6+1, so you get 4 if you replace it with the missile launcher. So you can have potentially. Wow, Emperor's Children can now have an anti-tank platform. Wow, I'll take it. Literally, I will take it every day a week. Um, Electro Scourge, you're not really going to bring that. It's what? 5 attacks sustained, it's 2. Extra attacks, so you don't get dark packs. Strength 12 minus 2, 2 damage. That's actually pretty decent. Maybe bring that if you're bringing a melee one. Model's heavy missile launcher can be replaced with one of the following: Hades las cannon, heavy reaper auto cannon. What's this do? Dev wound sustained, it's 1. 4 shots, 48-inch range, hit on 3, strength 9 minus 1, 3 down. So it's just not auto cannon, literally. The dev wounds is nice. 3 dev wounds if you spike on a 6. Is very, very helpful. And obviously being able to re-roll the wound rolls when you're making a dart pact. If you're overcharging it, then that's superb. 3 dev wounds are nasty, as I'm sure people who play Forge Fiends could agree. Melee, heavy missile launcher, the crack profile, 48-inch range on both the frag and the crack, but the frag has blast. Frag has 2d6 shots at strength 5 minus 1, 1 damage. The crack missile has 2 shots at strength 10 minus 2d6+1. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, missile launchers have always been a bit obscure, so it's nice to have them, decent. I mean, AP2 is always great for shooting. Again, heavy melee, it's just, you get a sweep attack now, which is good. So strength 6 minus 2, 1 damage, 10 attacks, hitting on 3s. Okay, I like it. Good into chaff. Well, it's very good into chaff, actually, because you just pretty much reliably kill them all. Overall, I am quite happy with that. I'm very happy. That's probably going to cost an arm and a leg. I guarantee it'll be like 190 to 210 points, I think. You might see it in Emperor's Children, because you've got something that can advance and shoot and potentially run in a melee at like what, strength 16, because most of our melee other than Fulgrim is like strength between strength 4 and strength 8. Like, we don't have much. So having something like strength 16 minus 3 is just really good. Just better than Forge Fiends. Let's see if there's anything more. Okay, so they do have rules. Okay, Death Guard. In your shooting phase, after this model has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, that unit cannot have the benefit of cover. Okay. Right, oh wow, I made a really good prediction then. So it literally just does what I said earlier. It's just like an artillery piece where it just strips cover. Ignoring cover is really good. And then on top of that, you obviously get the plagues for the the afflicted stuff, so you can get the worse than the armor saves. I don't mind that. That's actually not too bad. Especially with like the high AP from the shooting. I mean, like what strength? Most of it's AP2, so you've got like what AP2, AP3 shooting ignores cover. That kills a lot of power armor stuff. I quite like that. That's not too bad. It fits very well into the Death Guard. Let me zoom out a bit actually because it's a bit zoomed in. That should be better. Yeah. Next up, Emperor's Children. Revel in Desecration. Each time this model makes an attack that targets an enemy that is not below half strength, add 1 to the hit roll. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's nasty. So you're hitting on. So for Coterie, this would be you charge in, you advance and charge. Advance and shoot and charge. So you can advance, dump all your last cannon shots into a tank, hitting on 2s. You're probably going to reroll 1s at that point because you have Coterie buff. So you're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. 4 shots, strength 12 minus 3, d6+1 damage. And then you get +1 to hit in melee, so you're now hitting on 2s, rerolling all your 1s, and then potentially rerolling 1s if you get the 3 kills on the Coterie tally. Oh, that's horrible. That is not below half strength, so you're going to literally just run this thing forward. If you're clever or you get lucky with the shooting, you can just get it above half strength, and then you still get the benefit of it, which is, again, superb. This is going to be... That is really, really good. I'm very happy with that. I think you're going to see Emperor's Children Defilers a lot. Like, they are... Oh, that's horrible to deal with. Holy shit, I feel sorry for whoever's on receiving end of that. Thousand Suns. Destroyer of Futures. Each time you target this unit with the Fire Overwatch stratagem, hits scored on a 5. Okay, so you unmodified hit rolls of 5, you hit on 5s instead of 6 in Overwatch. For each of those attacks that targets an enemy unit within 9 inches of one or more Thousand Suns Psyker units from your army, a hit is scored on a 4 up. So you're hitting on 4s on Overwatch, which is... that's actually pretty decent. I mean, you've basically acted as like a protective, like stay away from my psychers type thing, because your rubrics count as psychers, considering the sorcerer's leading them. Most of the army in Thousand Suns are psychers anyway. But again, Overwatch, like you're not really gonna care about Overwatch. Then again, the shooting from this thing is pretty scary. So if you have a 24-inch range threat with the like a tank that shoots at your what you call it, your unit, you can then just immediately shoot back with this. Damn. So that's actually a pretty good deterrent, because you can keep these back, get your Terminators ahead, and if you don't want to tank some shooting, you can just get this thing to Overwatch and just be like, yeah, you're within 9 inches of a Psyker unit. I'm hitting on 4s now. Here's literally everything in the kitchen sink. That's actually not too bad. I might be overestimating that, but granted, it's not as good as the Emperor's Children rule or the Death Guard one, but that's not bad. World Eaters Unleash Wrath. Oh, here we go. Very on brand. At the end of your opponent's movement phase, you can select one enemy unit that was set up on the battlefield within 12 inches of this model. Set up. That's specifically a bit weird. We'll get into that in a second. This model that can then either shoot at that unit, but only if it is an eligible target, or declare a charge against that unit. Note that even if this charge is successful, this does not receive any charge bonus this turn. That is fucking funny, I'm not going to lie. So, what amazes me, it says set up, so I assume it means if it ends its movement. Because to me, when you set up on the battlefield, it means you put the model down from like Deep Strike, you're setting the unit up. I would assume, based on that, it's when your opponent has finished the move within 12 inches. So that's amazing. So you can move within 12 inches of this guy, and then he basically just turns around at you and just shoots you. Or if you're like next to him, it just charges into you. So you can... That's amazing. That's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with, because you've got the fact that there's a T11, 18 wound, 3 up, 5 up invul monster of a unit that can, if you try and charge it, it's just going to charge into you and then hit you and probably kill you, or it's just going to unload every shooting thing it has against you. That's really good. Longer ranged armies are obviously going to really not give a fuck about this, but I think that it's not receiving a charge bonus is not great, but realistically, you don't give a fuck, because it's like you already hit supremely hard anyway. Yeah, I really like that. I think that's pretty good. I'd still say, in my opinion, and yes, I am slightly biased, I think it goes... I don't know, actually, which one's better. I'd say Emperor's Children's probably the top, because that's the more practical one, because you're hitting on 2s, which is just really, really strong. And that's on top of the other datasheet rules as well, so you don't get the Dark Pack one, you get this instead. So I'd say that one's the best one. I'd say the World Eaters is second. Maybe you could toss this up between first and second. I prefer the +1 to hit, but being able to just shoot at something that's bang next to you is hilarious. I think Death Guard are third. Ignoring cover is really, really good on a unit. Um, it depends on the unit, obviously, because if it's got an invul, you don't really give a shit. But ignoring cover is just super good anyway at like the higher levels. So you probably might see play. You're definitely going to see play from the Emperor's Children one and the World Eaters one. I don't think you'll see it from the, again, points cost depending, because I have a funny feeling the World Eaters one and the Emperor's Children one are going to cost a bit more than the Thousand Suns one. The K Suns one, I don't really see fitting into the army when you've already got some like really good shooting that doesn't rely on Overwatch. So like your Mutilator, Magnus, your sorcerers, that kind of thing. You've got like that kind of backup. Overall, though, I am pleasantly happy. I really, really am. Like, is that it? Yeah, that's literally it. Um, yeah, that's literally it. So again, this is just a first impressions video. So forgive me if I've gone over a couple of things. Um, But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I hope everyone else has enjoyed the video, and please feel free to leave your impressions in the comments. I'm be interested to discuss this with you to see where you would rate them, what you think you like, what you dislike, etc. And no matter where you are in the world, always remember, stay healthy and always praise the dark gods. Cheers, guys.